needs an oil change. So let's go ahead and get it on the rack and let's get this show on the road. We've got a T27. Where's my camera? T27. Quarter-inch drive, ratchet, and extension. And we're going to take these bolts right here off. We're going to go ahead and take the derby cover off. Make sure you push in tight. These bolts are easy to strip. Over the years, I've done had to replace them. I don't know how many times. Let me get my little ratchet. Got my little Milwaukee quarter-inch drive ratchet, or gun. Make sure we're in reverse. I always leave my top bolt in, that way once I take it out, the cover won't fall. And there we go. All right. The drain plugs on all three hoses is a 5/8. So let me grab my 5/8. I should have already had all this laid out, I reckon. And the ratchet. So right down here is the drain plug. Get y'all a little bit closer on that drain plug. Sorry, don't mean to shake you up, but that's the drain plug for the primary. Now the primary don't hold but a quart of fluid. That's all I put in my primaries. We'll let that drain. Well, we better pull the bucket on over some, or the little catch can. I got that from Harley Davidson dealer. We got a little bit of metal on the magnet, but that's about normal. I don't really ride this thing like a crazy man. Maybe sometimes. Might be a little bit of a long video, but I hope y'all hang in there. Little shaky shaky. If you need to adjust the clutch, this would be a good time to do it, but I've done it about a week ago, so I'm not going to do it. To adjust the clutch, get in your owner's manual. You know, you've got to loosen up on the cable. If you got a cable clutch like this one, you got to loosen your cable up and back off the nut and all here, but there's plenty of videos out there. The fluid looks pretty good. I don't see a whole lot of metal. We'll let this primary drain out, then we'll do the engine oil plug. We'll be back with you in a minute. Okay, now the fluid is down to just barely a drip. We got our drain plug all cleaned up. You can clean it ever how you want to. I use a little brake cleaner. And we got our O-ring kit from Harley Davidson. It consists of all 3 rings and the derby cover gasket. So what we want is one of these O-rings right here. Put the O-ring, focus, put the O-ring on that. And I also like using a little bit of pipe dope. And we put a little bit on the threads. It don't take much. If you put too much, like I just did, you can wipe it off. Like I just did. Put the lid back on the pipe though. Take your rag. Move your bucket out of the way. Take your rag. Clean and dry out your hose as much as possible. And then go ahead and reinstall your plug. Okay, we got the plug installed. Now the owner's manual, or the manual I got, and you need to check your manual because your bike might be different. Mine says from 14 to 21 foot-pounds. I always do it at 15 foot-pounds. I never had a problem, never leaked, never backed off. So we're going to do it at 15 foot-pounds. Now I got my torque wrench. I got it set on 15 foot-pounds. See, you hear that click? As far as you need to go. But always remember, loosen up your torque wrench. Don't ever leave it setting. Okay, well, we got that done. We got the fluid out. We got the plug cleaned up with a new O-ring on it with a little bit of pipe dope on it. We got it reinstalled at 15 foot-pounds. Now, we're going to put the primary fluid in it. And I got one of these funnels you can get from Harley Davidson. It slides right in there like that right there. And get all your fluid in. Now, the primary on mine, which is a 2013 Harley Davidson Limited, calls for 36 ounces of primary fluid. I use the Formula Plus transmission and primary. What I use is 32 ounces. So 32 ounces. We need 6 more ounces. I went ahead and got it poured up, measured up into my cup. We're going to go ahead and pour this 6 ounces in. And we're going to go ahead and put this whole quart in. And you know something? I'm going to go double look. I apologize, but I think it's 38 ounces. Yes, the primary is 38 ounces, and I was right. This is 32, and we had it right there. That'd be 33, 34, 35, 36, 37, 38. We was right on the money. You know, sometimes when you get old, you can't remember too much. So, we finished getting this out of this bottle. Sometimes you can drain another ounce or two. Uh-oh, sorry about that. I should have used the other arm, huh? Y'all don't want to look under my arm, do you? I put on deodorant, it don't smell. So, we can take our little funnel. Well, that's a good thing to have. It's well worth the money. It's better than trying to pour your fluid over in there or use a typical funnel. We're going to wipe all this up. We're going to get our derby cover over here, and we're going to take out the old O-ring. I do reuse these sometimes, but you know, I mean, they're cheap. And if you buy the O-ring kit, it comes in the kit. Get it stuck back on the cover. Take your bolt or take your screw. Use your, extension. Stick it in the hole. And stick it up there, and that will hold your primary cover. Now, just to be sure the O-ring didn't come off, I always stick my head in there and look, and it's good. So we can go ahead and install the rest of the bolts. Now, if you own a Harley Davidson, and there I go again showing my underarms. If you own a Harley Davidson, probably 85% of the people that ride them services them. So I'm not really showing you nothing you don't already know. But like I said, this isn't a how-to video. This is a Ray video. So don't take nothing I do the heart, because I can't be responsible if you mess up your motorcycle. So look at your owner's manual. And if you need to watch a YouTube video, there's a lot of good ones out there. Don't go by what I do. But I do wish y'all would watch my channel. Hey, you come up on this, watch it. You can look at this ugly face. And this will make you laugh if nothing else. All right, there is a torque specs for these primary boats. Primary cover boats. And if you'll bear with me for a minute, I'm going to walk over here to the manual and see what they are, because I can't remember, but I think they're 95 inch-pounds. Let me go look. Yes, they're 84 to 108. I always do them at 95. But you really got to be careful with these little soft screws, because they'll strip out on you in a heartbeat. So let's get the torque wrench. Get it up here on 95. I can't see when you get old, and I'm sure some of you probably could justify with that. All right, there's 90. And there's 95. You know, I really don't need this big long extension, but there's one. There's two. There's three. There's four. There's five. And I'm gonna go back over just to double check them. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Loosen up on your torque wrench. Like I said, you don't want to leave it. Well, there you go. That's how you change your fluid in your primary. Which I know I'm not showing you nothing that y'all don't already know, but you can't look at this pretty face without me doing it. But that's all there are to it. Depending on what bike you got, on how much primary fluid and the type of primary fluid that you got. But on a 2013 Harley Davidson 103, it takes 38 ounces of primary fluid. Your boat here torques at 15 foot-pounds. I torque these at 95 inch-pounds. And that's all there are to it. I'm glad y'all come along. Hit that like button. Even if you didn't like it, hit that like button. I would like it. And if you want to, hit the subscribe button too. You know, it don't cost you nothing. Until next time, which will be changing the engine oil. Keep the rubber side down. Peace.